out of kindness, I've been copy and pasting for my mom a journal that my aunt who's dying, gonna die very soon actually, of pancreatic cancer, has been writing in for online over a year. There's a lot of entries. I'm doing it slowly for my mom. But, you know, reading it and half reading it and whatnot, you know, because then, you know, she has, because somewhere she goes, she goes to a place for mentally ill people, you know, to hang out, and where she learns the computer and, you know, does whatever. They print it out for her. It'll be easier for me too. I can read it just well online, but you know, it's easier for my mom to be able to have it in paper and read it, and it's actually easier for me too, truth be told, but I don't know. I'm doing it for her, because I can read it anytime, you know. And my mom's not computer literate, so. But it did spark me to think about, and actually I think this way all the time, and I'm sure a lot of you do too, if you've ever gone through anything similar. It doesn't have to be identical. It can just be the same thing where you know the truth and other people are lying about you. You tell the truth and other people are lying. And that, what that means is, I guess, well, first of all, you need to know the aunt who has cancer, neither she nor any of her family, you know, her extended family, her children, her grandchildren, whatever, know the truth about what Marion has done to either me or my mom. Like some of the videos have said, it's all secrets and lies in my family. And you think with her dying now I'm going to say anything? No. So what do you think's going to happen when I absolutely refuse to ride with Marion when my aunt who has cancer dies? I'm going to just look like a petty fucking bitch. I don't care. I don't like Marion's husband either. I am not going with them to the funeral. But, you know, my mom, I want to go to the funeral. I'll go separate. I'll take a taxi. I have money. I'll take whatever. My mom's going to, you know, it's so sad for my mom because she's too sick, too trusting, too naive to really understand how deep my disgust with Marion, my aunt, goes. I'm the one who always looks like the fucking bitch. I'm the one. There's one example. Anybody Donald, my abuser, and his mom, no, they don't know anything about what Donald's done to me, do they? No. So they can spread their lies and say I'm a fucking evil bitch who took their dog. My dad, he's conveniently forgotten or not how badly he treated me when I was in high school, when I had already been through too much my first 13 years of life, and I just wanted, I lost my mom to her illness. I mean, lost her not literally, but you know what I mean. She had to give me up. She didn't want to. I had to move in with him and his girlfriend. I knew I was a burden. I was not an idiot by any means. I was a smart little girl, aware that I was intruding on their lives. And he proceeded to make dig more, you know, more nails in my coffin, okay? Put more nails in my coffin instead of, you know. He conveniently forgets it, pretends to, he must forget. He would drink and smoke pot, but he probably forgets. He wants to introduce me to his son that he found, because he was a philanderer, you know, his son he found after all these years, 40 some odd years, right? The son, I guess, is a year younger than me. Seems like a nice guy. He's out on Facebook and he sends, I can't really, you know, I have no desire really to get to know him. I mean, it's just, but in any case, when my dad tries to introduce me, remember all the shit I've been going through, being abused and shoved backwards and nearly dying and da-da-da with my family, and that's when Daddy decides he wants to, you know, he doesn't know what's going on with me, but I can't just be all happy and we're going to be one big happy family. No. I was already pissed off at my father. He found me after so many years right after Donald had, you know, done what he'd done to me. And I'm trying to tell him about it, and he doesn't really care. He calls me narcissistic because I talk. What do you want from me? I was abused for years and years and years. Horrible sex life, everything, and then it ends with me nearly dying, Dad, and you find me, and you just think, I mean, I'm not being narcissistic, like talking about boys and makeup. I'm traumatized. You know, sorry you didn't find me at a more convenient time in my life, Daddy. So I got pissed off at him, and then he tried later to introduce me to my quote-unquote brother and my brother's family, and they're all normal and married, you know, like most people, and they don't know how to deal with me, and I'm like, this is my brother. I have a right to tell him what I've been through and what I've been through as a kid. I had no idea he was going to reject my father based upon what my father had done to me over 30 years ago when he was a completely different person. It doesn't really make sense that my brother did that. Seriously. But apparently he did, and I had no idea because I've been going through hell after hell after hell. Put in that shelter, reached out to my father, found out the truth. Telling me, you know, your brother rejected me because of your lies, Laura, your poison. He's like, just tell your brother you lied about me, Laura, and all will be right with the world. No, I don't lie. I didn't lie. I don't sugarcoat stuff either. I don't, unlike majority of people on this planet, I don't hide the things that make me look bad either, okay? Marion looks really good in the eyes of everyone because, unfortunately, when I'm going through hell and hell and hell, my mentally ill mother gave me money to help me out, and then I had the bulging disc, and then Donald did what he did to me, and I was begging her for money. Little did I know she didn't have much left, and she's telling the family, I can't, you know. It makes Marion look like she saved the day. But if you examine all the underlying things, I mean, when I told my other shelter friend, the one that abandoned me and then didn't stay my friend, maybe we couldn't be, she was religious, you know, but I can be friends with people who've been through hell and back like I have as a kid and whatnot, and even if they are religious, it's just probably not something that can stick. I don't know, you know, not when someone's really religious, but whatever. In any case, when she read stuff that I'd put on Yahoo Answers and I'd printed out for her and blah, 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 whatever, and she was reading it, and she was like, God, you know, Marion, she's the type that makes me want to just like get a gun, and, you know, I told her everything, and my friends know about the money. They know about the money, but I didn't take the money and put it up my nose, okay? I lived off of it. I was dying inside. I was, you know, but that's what all I want to point out is that I actually tell the truth even in negative light, you know? I tell you that that I'm on psych disability now, that I've been through hell and back, and that I went crazy back in 2009. I believed 100% that Chad Kruger knew of my existence. His friends knew of my existence. They were rooting for me. That he either loved me or at least was infatuated with me, and he had been because he had been one of my fans in 2001, my Alicia's World fans. I didn't make this up out of the top of my head. Dark Horse sparked it. I could relate to all those songs. Then I started listening to more, because I'd always liked Nickelback, but I'd only listened to the songs, the mainstream songs. I'd never gone on the internet and bothered to find other songs, you know. I didn't really have my own computer. It was Donna's computer, and, you know, it's just, I don't know. I just never bothered. I just enjoyed, I never thought about him having other songs. I didn't have a CD player to get CDs. I never thought him, and I'd always liked Nickelback, but just what it played on Star 98.7, you know, just what it played mainstream. And then once I decided to buy Dark Horse, and then I decided, and then I went crazy. It's insane, it's delusional, and I admit it 100%, okay? I wanted to believe it. I was going through hell. I wanted to believe there was someone rich and famous out there and his friends rooting for me. And then all kinds of weird little things fell into place, too, as I discussed in detail on my ALICIACREATURE videos, okay? But I can't hide that part of my life, okay? The videos are out there. The comments I left are still out under the Nickelback video somewhere, and all the scathingly cruel, go kill yourself, you crazy woman, blah, blah, you're ugly, blah, blah, all the things that people have written to me are still out there. So, This life forced me to turn into a wild animal. And part of being a wild animal was I had to, depend upon my mom. I even had to use her credit card online because when I ran off to that Minneapolis Nickelback concert, whatever, and I looked crazy. I actually had money on my credit card, just hadn't come on yet or whatever, but Donald and Hope are not going to let me back. Okay? I am not somebody who wanted to get back there because of clothes or things or items. Understand? My life was in that house, and they were not going to let me back. And of course, and they didn't have money, and they never would have sent. Oh, Hope promised, we'll send you yours. No, you won't. You will not send me my 100+ hardcover journals and my poems and my songs and my stories and my letters and whatnot, because they're fucking heavy and you're a cheap fucking bitch, and you will never send them, because why would you? Who could force you to? Yeah, I had to turn into a wild animal. I got the police involved. I'm like, I want my fucking stuff. And I wasn't officially out of there. I still officially lived there. I had the keys. I lived there. I wanted to go in there and getting my stuff when they were gone. It was still my home. It had been my home. They weren't going to let me back into my home that I'd lived for all those years. They weren't going to let me back in. My mom was locked up in the mental hospital. I was losing my mind, and now I was not going to lose my life, my pictures. They believe me, Donald would have gleefully probably burned it all on me. What would I have been able to do? My family didn't care. My mom was locked up in the mental